This morning, Kathleen Davies and I lodged with the High Court of Australia a constitutional challenge to Victoria's controversial electric vehicle tax. Known, embarrassingly, as the world's worst tax for reasons you'll soon hear, it penalises drivers of electric vehicles 2.5 cents per kilometre driven and plug-in hybrid owners 2 cents per kilometre. Over the lifetime of a vehicle, based on average car mileage, this tax will mean that Victorian drivers pay in excess of $5,000. The Victorian government passed this tax on grounds that drivers of electric vehicles don't pay fuel excise and therefore don't pay for their fair share of road infrastructure. However, the reality is that fuel excise hasn't paid for roads since the late 1950s and importantly is a tax on fuel that goes to federal consolidated revenue. Let me just say that a little differently. Fuel excise is a tax that people pay when they fill up at the bowser and is a tax that the Victorian government doesn't have authority over. So, where do I start? What made Kath and I challenge the Victorian government, and importantly, how can you help? First and foremost, we think the tax may be unconstitutional, but there are many important reasons, particularly with my background in health. This tax on electric vehicles by the Andrews government is a cash grab that punishes Victorian families who have decided to transition to cleaner cars that are better for the environment and better for our children's health. Electric vehicles can be filled up with clean, green, renewable energy from the sun, wind or hydro. EVs have no tailpipe emissions, don't spew out particulate matter like NOx, PM2.5 and other things enter your circulation and destroy or damage every cell of your body, doing harm that costs our healthcare system billions of dollars per year and sadly results in several thousand people dying due to air pollution caused by conventional petrol diesel vehicles. We went electric in our family to help improve the air quality of not only my family but also those of my neighbours, my community and more. Instead of taxing clean technologies such as electric vehicles, the state government should be concentrating on getting dirty cars off the road. This electric vehicle tax prevents Australia from cutting its transport emissions, which account for more than 20% of our carbon footprint. I find it strange how, on the one hand, the Andrews government is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on renewable energy projects, yet is taxing EV owners who are also doing their bit to help the environment. This tax is bad for our climate, it's bad for Victorians, and when transport is the second most significant contributor to global warming, it's bad policy that discourages people from getting into electric vehicles. And this was shown in a recent study of South Australian residents by the Australian Institute, which found that 7 in 10 people would be discouraged from buying an electric vehicle if such a tax were introduced in their state. The rest of the world is increasingly buying clean and efficient electric vehicles. The Andrews government should not be imposing a cash grab tax on electric vehicles that will see the state and Australia left behind. We're already well behind transitioning to electric vehicles, with new car sales seeing just only 1.57% or just 8,688 EVs sold in 2021 to date. This tax puts the brakes on accelerating Victorians into clean transportation. Price is a huge barrier to EV adoption, and if the Victorian government was serious, they would scrap this unfair tax and do more. Like what we see in Norway. There, 3/4 of all light vehicles sold in 2020 were electric. Similar incentive programs, not disincentive ones, have also proven to work in the UK, China and the United States. I find it deplorable that the state government is taxing EVs when they have proven health benefits and better climate outcomes for everyone. And so, with the help of Equity Generation lawyers, we will argue that the state of Victoria lacks the constitutional power to levy a road user charge on EV drivers. And, if successful, we'll see this regressive, backward, silliest tax scrapped. Importantly, it will send a clear message to New South Wales, South Australia and all other states that proposing a similar tax cannot be done. Doing this legal challenge is scary and the stakes are high. Kath and I understand the legal road ahead and potential costs, but know that it's super important and something that I'm passionate about, and right now we need your help to bring this claim to a positive conclusion. If you can chip in to support paying the legal costs of this case, please follow the link below where we're raising funds through Chuffed. I hope to see this tax gone as soon as possible and give my kids hope that this government takes its commitments to the health and well-being of Victorians, Australians, seriously. The electric vehicle tax is unfair, it's bad for our health, it's bad for the environment, and importantly, our case will argue that this tax is unconstitutional and should be abolished now.